Tyson Fury said he trained as hard for Ottto Wallin as he did for Deontay Wilder, and his promoter says Ottto Wallin and Tom Schwarz are ideal to prepare Fury for a Wilder rematch. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, Tyson Fury, it's fight week. He's getting ready to fight Ottto, correct? I mean, Ottto Wallin, you know, whoever this character is. And, you know, we're just waiting. We're waiting for Saturday to roll around. ESPN Plus, sign up below if you would like to see that fight and the other content that's available. They just did a 30 for 30 on Dennis Rodman. Link in the description to sign up. There is no more free trial, but you can sign up. It's not too expensive, you know, considering all the content that it has, and you know, it helps the channel because I'm an affiliate. Tyson Fury at this press conference is doing his final press conference for Ottto, correct, or whatever. He says that he trained just as hard for this fight and didn't cut any corners as he did for Wilder, you know, which, you know, he looks like he's in good shape, to be honest and to be fair. But his promoter made a statement and said that fights with Ottto Wallin and Tom Schwarz are ideal for Tyson Fury to prepare. You know, he wrote this article on his website. He said, myself, along with Tyson, along with the world, require something like 4 comeback assignments before restoring to former glories. Then the opportunity to give the fight the public wanted. The best taking on the best came along, and Tyson chose to do away with the patient approach and jumped in with Wilder in December. That he has subsequently taken the time to further hone his conditioning and fight fitness, I believe, will pay significant dividends when he comes up against Wilder again in the rematch next year. Some people have chosen to mock the choice of opponents, first Tom Schwarz and now Wallin, but the truth of the matter is the size of the pair of them, they are ideal preparation for going back in with Wilder. In taking this time, Tyson's fitness, training, and confidence will have improved tenfold, and the version of him that fights Wilder next time will be much slicker and stronger model. True, these two fights have also served to magnify Tyson's already incredible popularity and profile in the States, but it is the ring where they will reap all the benefits. What Tyson cannot do, and I am sure he won't, is take the threat of Wallin lightly, you know. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you heard it. Frank Warren is saying it's ideal to prepare for Wilder. I disagree with Tyson Fury. I disagree with Frank Warren. Simply put, I disagree 1,000%. I don't think, like, in the scheme of, yeah, you're taking a light touch that probably is inexperienced and probably can't beat you, you know, so you don't necessarily take unnecessary punishment. If preservation is the key, then yeah, those are great opponents, you know, because you got guys who don't really seem, on paper at least, that they're ready for the moment and that they're candidates that will really push Tyson Fury. So that, like I said, if preservation is your key, then yeah, you pick the right people. But when you're fighting someone who I consider to be elite or very good and have momentum and, you know, have an upside to them, I don't think both of your opponents should be light touches. You know, guys who never fought in America before, fought in America once, never fought a 12-rounder, because how can they really push you? You get what I'm saying? And it's similar to Gennady Golovkin's last choice of opponent. He fought this unknown guy from Canada, never fought a 12-rounder, only had one 10-rounder, and the fight was exactly what people thought it was going to be, just like Golovkin versus Vanes Martirosyan, a guy who sat on the couch, you know, far removed from his Olympic days, and the outcomes are all predictable. So that doesn't really prepare you for the baddest man on the planet with the crazy power, in my view. You need somebody that, like Kovalev did a good thing. He fought as mandatory, and Anthony Yarde showed up to push him. But these other fights like Triple G, Steve Rolls, and Tom Schwarz, he just came and really did very little. He wasn't even throwing punches, took a knee, was getting splattered along the ropes and did nothing. I don't see how that's going to prepare you for someone elite any more than Triple G fighting Steve Rolls. That doesn't prepare you for fucking Canelo or Charlo or Demetrius Andrade, the better fights in that division. Steve Rolls has nothing to do with the experience that Canelo has, So it's the same thing. I think Frank Warren is being a promoter, and he's saying people are mocking it. There's a reason. And the fact that he has to explain it lets you know everything. And Top Rank, Bob Arum, Frank Warren, they keep making it like Tyson Fury is this huge star, but he's fighting this week and it's been very quiet. People don't even know who's on the card, I know my dude, Gabe Flores, is on the card, and that's just because, I know the family. And I don't know, they haven't really, I don't feel like they've really promoted the card to these expectations where people are like, oh, okay, and know who's on the card and know who's fighting. And some people don't even know Tyson Fury's fighting this week. So they're making it sound like his profile has magnified in America by this, but they keep attaching their name to Wilder and leeching off of that because that's what has garnered him the most press. But I think another thing that's very interesting here is that Frank Warren basically told you what I told you, new media. This is why we keep winning in this game. He says basically they should have had 4 comeback assignments. So basically 4 tune-ups. You were away for so long. You beat Klitschko, the cocaine, drug binges, gained weight. You should have did 4 tune-ups. But he says we took an opportunity, or Tyson took an opportunity to fight Wilder last December, and he overstepped that. So he only took 2 tune-up fights and bypassed the other 2, which was his decision because he wanted to fill a void left by Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. That was his decision. But the moment he made that decision, he enthralled himself in which was an instant classic of a fight with high drama, and then he ran from the rematch, and decided to bow out instead of doing the immediate rematch, and fled and ran to ESPN Plus and joined forces in the stateside with Top Rank and Bob Arum, and used that as a diversion or excuse to go back to fighting tune-up style fights, in preparation. But I think that was all wrong, to be honest. Tyson Fury, I commend him for stepping up to the plate with Wilder. However, I strongly believe if you put on a draw, which left people without any real closure, I would have preferred, because it wasn't really Tyson Fury's business or deal, to be fair, to fight Wilder at that point, right? Joshua was the main guy who had, been in, especially in the British public. He was the main UK guy who was being received well and had all these belts, like physical belts, unlike Tyson Fury lineal stuff, right? Physical belts, and the pressure was on Joshua and Eddie Hearns to fight Wilder, or to make the Wilder fight, right? So Tyson Fury, he did step up to the plate, but it's to the point where if we have to exaggerate and prolong this, I would have preferred Tyson Fury do what he should have did from the beginning, instead of doing this Benjamin Button, Quentin Tarantino the back end of the story first, and then then you advance to the beginning, this weird chronological order. I would have preferred Tyson Fury take 4 tune-ups straight. He's already had 2, so take 2 more tune-ups, then fight Wilder, because he jumped in business that really immediately wasn't his business. He didn't have to fight Wilder at that point. But that being said, you made the decision against your family. Tyson Fury has already told you. He said his family said, don't do it. Wilder's going to kill you. You're tripping, blah, blah, blah. So you went against the grain, and then now you almost got knocked the fuck out in the 12th, or you did get knocked out, and then you woke back up or whatever, Jack Reese and shit woke you up. Now he's trying to go back to the basics, but that's not even good for him because, again, you're not even fighting punchers like Wilder. So we don't really know how Tyson Fury, if his chin has really healed And the blunt force trauma, if you get hit with that type of punch again, we don't even know how you're going to respond, because you're not getting hit by those punches, because you're not fighting capable guys that, most believe or would favor or would give any hope to win. Like, I would rather see Tyson Fury versus Cannon Briggs, no cap, because I know what Cannon Briggs, I know what to expect from him. He landed some shit on Lennox Lewis. Obviously that was years ago, but I know Cannon Briggs' power. I know his frame, shit like that. So we have more data on him. We don't know these Ottto, Wallin, and Tom Schwarz. So it's just a low risk. Gerald Miller would have been a better fight. There's a ton of fights that would have been better. Now, it would have been received, however, based on Miller failing his drug test. But Top Rank's getting ready to sign him, from what I understand. So, they might as well have made something like that, and that would have better prepared you. So, yeah, Tyson Fury, like I said, if you want to be preserved and shit, and that's your goal, then fighting these guys will do that. But it doesn't really prepare you for a monstrous puncher, a guy in his prime, a guy full of confidence, a guy who has had moments like the Luis Ortiz fight, round 7, where he had to show heart. Ottto Wallin hasn't had that, because he hasn't had nobody of that caliber really stick it to him and push him to it, at least as a pro. At least any of the fights I've seen, and damn sure Tyson Fury, last opponent, Tom Schwarz, hasn't. So I disagree with Tyson Fury here, and I disagree with Frank Warren. I don't think this prepares you properly for Wilder. Mayweather fought Maidana twice before fighting Pacquiao. Very smart, because he prepared for an awkward, tough fight with the puncher. So that prepares you for a tough fight. It's just like having hard sparring. Hard sparring will prepare you for a hard fight. But you look at the guys who, like Anthony Yard, you look at the girls like Ronda Rousey, who have made this claim publicly that they can't get punched in the face. Ronda Rousey, that's her specifically. Or they don't do hard sparring and stuff like that. So when you're in a hard fight and a battle of wheels and attrition, like Yard was with Kovalev, we seen what happened, what showed up. Kovalev's experience fighting Ward twice, coming back from defeat from that, the Leader Alvarez defeat, he was ready for the moment a lot more, and he pulled away in the finals rounds of the fight. So, I disagree. I don't think this is ideal preparation. They're going off of height, because these guys are tall. There's a lot of tall guys. Michael Jordan's tall. That doesn't mean he's going to be good preparation for a heavyweight boxer. Michael Jordan's 6'6". You feel what I'm saying? So I disagree with Frank Warren here and Tyson Fury. I don't see how this really prepares him. I could get, one tune-up and then elevate to somebody who's, a step up. But to me, Ottto Wallin and Tom Schwarz, based on what they've proven, they're in the same category, It's not like one has this crazy killer resume and the other person doesn't. And like I said, I personally would have preferred, instead of Tyson Fury stepping up when he didn't have to and getting the whole world excited and involved for a rematch and then pulling out of the rematch, I would have preferred him just do all the tune-ups. Do the 4 tune-ups per plan, come back the right way, if that's what your team is now saying. The other thing that I have to add is Tyson Fury keeps saying he whooped Wilder's ass and beat him 10 rounds to 2. Does it, based on the actions and the statements from his own team, who believes that? Just like I've been telling you, new media. Myself, this is Frank Warren, his promoter. Myself, along with Tyson Fury, said all along that he would require something like 4 comeback assignments before being restored to former glories. So 4 tune-up fights. Then the opportunity to give the fight the public wanted, the best taking on the best, came along, and Tyson Fury chose to do away with the patient approach and jumped in with Deontay Wilder last December. So once again, Tyson Fury's claiming that he whooped Wilder 10 rounds to 2, and everything they're saying doesn't sound like he was in his true form, or that's the narrative that they're trying to spin, saying, hey, we were going to take a more patient approach and do 4 tune-ups. Oh, Tyson Fury's weight is perfect now, but it wasn't perfect then. This is what they're saying now. But all these things don't add up to what Tyson Fury is saying of, I whooped his ass 10 rounds to 2. And once again, I've maintained the same thing. I thought the fight was a draw with the 2 knockdowns. That sold the draw. You could really argue Wilder won, depending on what you think of the knockdown, because a lot of refs would have waved that off. Lennox Lewis told me that on an exclusive interview. You know, but beyond that, Wilder was doing some good work in the first 3 rounds. You know, it was competitive. Tyson Fury kind of pulled away with the boxing, and then Wilder started missing wildly, getting outboxed in the middle rounds. You know, but Tyson Fury didn't really do too much throughout the first 4, right? Other than feints and stuff, Wilder was landing good body shots. So depending on how you scored those first 4 rounds, that would have been pivotal, and Wilder, you know, could have won on your scorecard. So either way, the bottom line is this: it don't sound like somebody who won 10 rounds to 2 and his team saying, oh, we abandoned the 4 tune-up approach, but that's what we wanted. Oh, his weight wasn't so good. That sounds like excuses. If you felt that you whooped his ass 10 rounds to 2, then what's the point of saying you weren't at your ideal weight, or you didn't get to follow through with your 4 tune-up plan because you know you didn't beat the man like you're claiming? You know, especially even if you thought you won 10 rounds to 2, come on, bro. But they have to say that because it's with 2 knockdowns, that's 2 10-8 rounds. So the way boxing scored in a 12-rounder, Tyson Fury, beyond that, can't afford to lose too many more rounds because Wilder got 2 10-8 rounds. So if he would lose, you know, depending on if he lose 1, 2, or 3 rounds, that determines if the fight is a draw or if it's a Wilder win, you know, depending on how many other rounds you score for Wilder, barring the 2 knockdown. So that's why he has to say something that sounds unrealistic, because the fight was close. Despite what they're telling you, the fight was close. And if it wasn't close, then he wouldn't have to hit his rendition of the fight. Like basically, if there was not 2 knockdowns and then he made a comment, then it wouldn't have sounded that crazy. But boxing is based on scoring, and with the 2 knockdowns, that put Tyson Fury in a position where he couldn't have lost really many early rounds. Otherwise, that would have led to a Wilder victory with the 2 knockdowns based on how it scored. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. We working.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.